So what is the graphic novel going to be about?
The graphic novel continues where the series left off 12 years ago. And because the series, it evolved from starting off as a parody of comic books into a story of its own, like this surreal world called Big City, where Brotherman lives. And issue 10 and 11 went back into his childhood. We started to go back to exploring the character's childhood to tell his story. And in issue 11 is basically about him. He was a teenager, and that's when he first made the decision to fight crime and, to make changes within himself. Like, he felt like he used to think it was other people's responsibility to make society a better place, and he realized things won't change until I do something. And that's the message in the whole comic book anyway.
It's like do something,
right?
Like you do something.
Superman and all them, they could do stuff. They could save people in New York, and 5 minutes later, they could save somebody in California.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the superhero. Brotherman's a hero. He's like the hero that we all have within ourselves. And he can't do it all himself. He can't be everywhere. If he gets shot, he's dead. You know what I mean?
Ain't no superpowers.
There's no coming back.
Oh, okay.
He's an influence on the people around him. And his thought process is what makes him different. You see what I'm saying? So that was the thing. I think part of the draw to the book was that we had this variety of characters that exist within this realm called Big City, which is a fictitious place composed of black characters. But a lot of people, it's familiar where you can say it's
sure do look like Philly or Detroit. Right.
It's what you're familiar with, but it's surreal. Like, if you look at the painting over there, you see, it's not like
Which
any
one?
place. The one back there, that's the painting I did at Big City back in '92.
Okay, hold on.
Do I need to open the blinds?
Yeah, open those lines. That'd be good.
That painting took me a year to do.
Really?
To show people, like, I did that in '92.
Wow.
And that was to show, because it's like graffiti on the rooftops and all that. And that was to show people, like, that this is its own world. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Y'all not even seeing how detailed it is. I see why it took them so long. The detail on this joint is people.
And there's stories behind all this. Like the issue number 9 takes place here in this lockup right here. Shop Plaza is the electric company.
Damn. Is that a candle? Oh, that's a battery.
That's a battery. Giant battery. These are the founders of Big City, so it has a history. It has its own history.
Wow.
And this is Linty Big. He's the one that the city's named after. And this building right here, we kind of patterned this off of Philadelphia City Hall because it sits like in the center of the city. But we call it Linty Big Municipal Station. And this is kind of like where all the red tape bureaucracy and all this stuff takes place. And that's where Brotherman works. He works in this building here as a lawyer. So the thing is, it's like it's a fantasy trip, and I think what also set Brotherman apart is that a lot of times whenever we have stories about us, they're always based in reality or like more like a documentary, but it's almost like we can accept Star Wars, we can accept Lord of the Rings, we can accept, just a whole plethora of adventures where it's not us. But then when we have a story, we're always kind of like, we're in New York, we're in LA. It's like, well, why don't we use our imagination and go somewhere else? And that's what the Brotherman, what we did was we just wanted to create our own realm. So their politics is not our politics. They're not dealing with racial issues because it's basically like going like it's Lagos, Nigeria, or something like that, where you might be dealing with economic differences as opposed to like racial differences.
Okay.
The rich oppressing the poor and things of that nature. But we also wanted it to be familiar, so it's familiar with what we know here, but at the same time it's surreal. So like I said, the graphic novel basically picks up where when he was a teenager, coming to the realization of his responsibility in becoming Brother Man. So there's a lot of drama.
So he was like Brother Boy at first, and now he's like, God damn, I got to step my game up and become Brother Man.
Well, in a way, because in issue number 11, his father gave him a poem called The Brother Man by the Unheeded Messengers, which is like a play on Last Poets. And that's the delivery. You got to deliver it like the Last Poets. But my brother wrote the whole poem. It's called The Brother Man. And when his father gave him the poem, since he liked comic books and stuff, he's like, it sounded like a comic book character. And so what he wanted to do was take what this poem personified and create a character out of it. So
you guys, okay, let me just back this up a little bit. You guys created a comic book character.
Right.
Who gets a poem and then thinks of it as a comic book, and so he almost is he is realizing what you guys realize. So it's like a story. He's creating a story within your story.
Right. Because superheroes, nobody does the unreal in this.
Ain't nobody come up to him and say, "You're a superhero."
No. Okay. That's the thing about it. That's part of the appeal to the book, and part of what people call the realness to the book is that he's not a superhero. He's a guy who actually was concerned about fixing society. But see, in the graphic novel, we go into the real reasons of why he did it. There's a lot of tragedy that happens in his life that causes him to really make it his mission.